Are we going live? Failed some destinations. Okay, whatever. Where did it fail? Okay. It's on Facebook. That's good. All righty. All right, here we are. We are live for 20 seconds. I know. This is going live stuff. Okay. Hi, everybody. This is Rita Desnoyers-Garcia going live on some platforms and apparently not others, but we'll figure that out. And as you know, I work with stressed out professional moms so that they can embrace, savor, and love their lives, even if it's for the first time. And I'm super excited today to be interviewing my friend and colleague, Diane Noto. I'm going to read her biography, and then we're going to have a great conversation about how you can lessen your stress around money and debt. Okay, so listen in. This is very important. So Diane Noto, I'm going to read her bio. She helps people get control over their money. Would that be nice? And experience financial freedom through providing her clients with action plans that pay off their mortgage and other debts in the fastest and most strategic way possible. Sounds really good, doesn't it? Now, she holds a bachelor's degree in science and a master's in humanities, and she's been teaching for 35 years. Wow. So you've been around the block. And she decided to focus on teaching people who suffer with the burden of debt. I know so many people who suffer with that burden, so that they can take control and become financially healthy and build lives that are freer for themselves and their family. Isn't that what we all want? We want more freedom and options. And she and her husband are parents to a wonderful adult son, and they live at the beaches in Delaware. That is so nice. Welcome, Diane.
Thank you so much, Rita. Thank you for asking me to be here. I'm so excited to talk with you and all of the wonderful ladies that are a part of your community, part of that work with you. Yes, very excited to share so many things.
Excellent. Yeah, and I'm excited because you're a mom helping moms. I know you help a lot of other people, but we're keeping the conversation sort of around professional moms and moms in general. So I wanted to ask you, there's a little bit in your bio about you were teaching for 35 years, but how did you get into this specific area where you were educating people about how to pay down their debt?
Sure. So yeah, I was working in educating pre-K through 12th grade for 35 years. I figured that was a career.
Yeah.
But so about 5 years ago, actually 7 years ago, I should say, I became involved with working with adults, working with this program, with the system. Thought, you know what, this part-time can turn into something. I think maybe it's time to evolve, move into the next level of education, because truly that's what it's all about. What I did was then 5 years ago, I partnered up with a woman who at that point had a little over about 23 years at that point experience in the financial world. So she had done banking and taxes and bookkeeping. She'd worked for the Federal Reserve for a period of time. I mean, just so much knowledge in the financial world. And I had the education knowledge. So she said, you need to come on board if you love this, which I did. Math is something I've always loved. I worked with my father way back when and thought, yeah, this makes a lot of sense, because truthfully, if people could seriously understand about interest, because that's what it's all about, and what it's doing for them or not doing for them, and basically it's doing more for the bank than it is for the client themselves, then it'll make a big difference to pay it off faster, so people can do more with their lives. And as women, we're the ones that are running the family and keeping things going and rolling, and we're the ones that need to find all that extra money to do all these little things, right? So yeah, I love working with women, truthfully.
Awesome. And interest is one of those things, like a lot of things, it's neutral, like fire, and it can either cook your food or burn your house down. So it's you want it working for you and not against you, right? So
absolutely. Yeah. I like that analogy. That's exactly right. Good way to look at it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what excites you about doing this? What have you seen? Do you have any good, juicy stories of clients whose lives have changed, or you felt amazing working with them? Tell me more about that.
Sure, sure. Thousands of ideas. How much time do we have? No. um, sure. Let me give you a couple of great ones. Recently too. Let's see. We have a family, and actually, like you said, I mean, we actually deal with professional moms, families. My goodness, individuals. But every one of them, my goodness, I can't think of not dealing with a mom in the last maybe 2-3 years for sure. And again, they're all professional working families. There's so much going on in their lives. But okay, so this particular family was a couple. They had 4 children, and they came to us saying, okay, we had quite a bit of debt. However, they could never put together an emergency fund because, life happens, right? You own a home, you have 4 kids. I hear they're expensive, right? I remember they're expensive.
Yeah, I have 3 in college this September. So yeah.
Oh, there you go. Then there you go. Exactly. So anyway, and as I recall, they had a mortgage. They still do. They have a mortgage. They had a motorcycle. They actually had 4 credit cards and 2 other personal loans. Anyway, point being is they were going to be paying off all of their debt in a little over 28 years. Okay, that makes sense for all of those debts, right?
Wow.
Because we're looking at mortgages, credit cards, student loan, car loan, line of credit, everything that has interest attached to it. Okay, so
Right.
not just a mortgage, because some of our clients don't have a mortgage. They're renting, but they've got, student loans or credit cards or car loan, that kind of thing. So they were going to pay off in it's actually 28.1 years. With our system, they are now in line for paying off everything in 9.1 years.
Wow.
And saving $130,000, a little bit more in change for in interest payments. And all they needed to make that happen, is $25 a month. That's it.
Wow.
That's huge. That is huge.
Wow.
So they could pay off their debt and build that emergency fund at the same time.
Wow. It's that ounce of prevention, right?
Yeah. Oh my, yes.
Is a pound of cure. Yeah. I think one of the things when we first had our mortgage, and I was doing those mortgage calculators,
Oh yeah.
we could go all day on that. I could go all day on that. And one of the things that blew my mind was the interest, how depending on how much you put in, and how many years you want to pay, it could have a huge, I didn't know when I was getting a mortgage or getting a loan out that you pay more interest the longer that you're paying. Depending on how much you're paying and how long you're paying, you are paying substantial amounts of more interest.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, what? But it's all hidden in the monthly cost. So
correct.
Even though on your statement it may say this is much interest and this is much principal, I know on our mortgage early on, it's almost all interest and very little principal. And then it grows in principal. And people don't necessarily think that way. So they just think, this is how much I pay per month. And that's just, or they think I can't pay more.
True.
This is just the way it is. It's a 30-year mortgage. So I paid off in 30 years. So, so I'm sure blowing people's mind on a daily basis around that stuff, because we play this game where we don't know we can change the rules, not change the rules, but we can have a different strategy so the rules work for us.
Correct. And you are so right about the mortgages. When somebody receives a mortgage, if they look at them into the 3rd, 4th page, it's called the TIP, which I think is hilarious. It's total interest percentage, what it sounds like. But it ends up,
I'm going to keep it clean today, but yes.
It's so funny, but it ends up that's the interest that would be paid to the bank. And it truly is so much higher. Example, you get let's say a $200,000 mortgage, okay? And at a 4.5%, interest rate for 30 years. Sounds like, that's not bad. Well, honest to goodness, you're right. Primarily in the first several years, it's a lot of interest, 72%, 73% interest, because they're in, it's a bank. They're in business to make money. That's the way it works, right? They lend you money, okay? So go down the year, down the line, years later, 20 years later even, well, you've already put over $200,000 because of the interest into that mortgage, and you still owe like $97,000.
Yes,
$97,000. So then 30 years later, it ends up that this particular example, you've paid $365,000 on a $200,000 mortgage.
Yes.
What happened to the 4.5% that sounded so good when you first got it, right? Oh my, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money that's not necessary, which is why people refi, and that's fine. There are lots of different methods to, working on, bringing down your debt. But it's always hitting one debt at a time. Again, that's great. Do something, quite frankly.
Right.
The
Right.
system that I work with targets all the debts at the same time, which is really cool. And that's where the difference comes
Yes,
in.
making it simple. Make it
Exactly.
simple. So I
Exactly.
know we're talking a lot of numbers and interest and all that stuff, but really I think people make decisions on this based on what they're feeling.
Right.
So let's talk a little about feelings. How do people feel when they come in to see you, and then how do they feel as a result of experiencing what you can do for them?
Okay. Different, my goodness, an array of feelings. It could just be, as I said, someone says, look, I'd love to build an emergency fund. Someone says, I'm sick and tired of paying interest and it is not, or paying on these credit cards and it's not coming down.
Yeah.
The other kind of people they're embarrassed to talk with us. They think they did something wrong. They did,
Yes.
and it's the world we live in. They're ashamed of certain things. There's always that pain point. You can talk to someone to say, okay, we have a mortgage, and I have a car, but and then there's that credit card, so this is where they're feeling it. Yeah, because they don't feel like there's an ending to that, that issue. It's just getting worse, or it's not, I keep paying on it, but it's not coming down. Well, yeah, because they don't understand how it's structured. Most of that payment's probably going to the interest, and $2 is going to the principal. That's why it's not coming down.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's, and then, sometimes we say we make people cry because, honest to goodness, when we're working through and showing that people their analysis, their personalized analysis, tears in their eyes on quite a few, clients thinking, my God, there is relief. There is a way out of this,
Tears of joy and relief, right? Not tears of like, oh, what have I got myself?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Tears of relief, because there is a way out that they've been trying to figure out, but can't do on their own. They just don't know what to do. And this way, in this case, this program takes the emotion out of it, because it's a computer program. Its job is to get one way. It's like a GPS. Find the fastest way to zero. And as we say, without putting on peanut butter and jelly, nothing like that, but find the fastest way to zero and show you exactly, give you a step-by-step action plan. And all you have to do is follow it. That it's that simple, right? Even when life changes, because life does, right? I hear that too.
Yeah. Well, what I love about it is that it's simple. And also, I think when anyone's going to be making a change, they're not feeling great and they want to make a change. One of the hardest things, I think, and I know this happened, I know because I have felt it, is that you're afraid to even look at what the problem is, right? Because it feels like, because immediately your mind goes into, I don't want to look at the problem because I can't solve it, or it's going to be overwhelming, or I'm going to feel terrible, or I'm going to feel uncomfortable. So we're constantly avoiding. And part of the problem is that you're not looking at the numbers, right? So the great thing that you do, I think, is that you're the person in the room, the calm presence, the calm, knowledgeable, empowering presence that helps you look at the numbers in a very unemotional way, a non-judgmental way, so that you can come to a solution that works for you and can elicit those tears of relief and joy, versus avoiding everything because you just don't know how to deal with it. Or the other thing that came to me as I was saying this was the companies don't necessarily encourage you or empower you at all. Like when I get my credit card bill, we pay it off every month. We're able to do that.
Very good. Yeah. Many cannot. But
many cannot.
Great.
But one of the things I noticed is that when we get the bill, it has like a suggested payment.
Right.
It doesn't suggest paying it all off. Or they'll have a minimum payment. You can pay this much. And a lot of people pay the minimum payment, not realizing that they're actually paying more if they pay that minimum payment.
Yes.
If they tried to pay more than the minimum payment. And I know some people can't, but a lot of people just go, oh, minimum payment, I'm not going to worry about it. Well, guess what? You just lost money. You just gave more money to the credit card company when you did that.
Absolutely.
People don't know that.
No, they don't. And honestly, the latest statistic too is 65% of Americans pay the minimum payments only.
Yes.
That's it. Because on many of them, that's their situation because they only have, it's not like they have one credit card. They've got several.
Right.
Plus they have a mortgage, plus they have student loans,
Right.
plus they have a car, or whatever
Right.
it's not typically one debt. They've got a million, not a million, that the average has about six, quite frankly.
Wow.
And there are others that have more, not
Yeah.
six credit cards, but I mean, and then some do, but I mean, the average person has about six debts, and others have more depending on how many
Right.
credit cards they have, something like that. But yeah, I mean, that's an unbelievable statistic. And yeah, it is just, it's constantly, I mean, you're satisfying the bank by paying that minimum, but truthfully, unless they see exactly how that's structured, and you usually don't, you get your bill, you pay it, ta-da. But unless they see how it's structured, you may not be even paying back 1%. There are some credit cards where we will say to the client, if you continue like that, it's going to take you 50 years to pay on that credit card. And they're like, what are you talking about? Yeah. You're not hitting the principal. It's not even, it's paying for the interest. And that's it.
Because the interest on credit cards is really high. It's like crazy double-digit percentages. And then forget school loans. School loans, you never can escape. So the way those are structured. So
absolutely. Yeah. Something for you to know then too, Rita, and for your audience here to know as well. So let me just explain a little bit. So what we have, it's an online web-based system that shows our clients how to pay off all of their debts. So not just mortgages, but credit cards, student loans, car loans, line of credit, everything that has interest attached to it. Okay. And so they can pay it off faster, but also save a ton of money, 50, 75, 100,000 and more in interest payments. That's money in their pockets. But it's not one strategy though. It's not one way of looking at things. Nor does it take all their discretionary. So in other words, I call that their Starbucks money, the money that they have extra during the month. It doesn't take every dime because that's not real life. It's just not, but so it's intuitive, it's customizable, it's all inclusive, and it analyzes their debts, their income, and then their monthly household expenses. Is what it does. But another thing very important and key, it's not a consolidation. Some people confuse us. They say, oh, you do consolidation. No, we don't do consolidation. We do not negotiate with credit card companies. Okay. And then also we're not asking them to refinance their mortgage. Because like I said, some of our clients don't have a mortgage. And right
now, refinancing probably isn't a great strategy because the interest rates are so high. So
that's right. See, there's extra fees onto all of those. And again, people don't realize it until they get into it and realize, oh no, what do I do? Yeah.
Got it. And we're like, wait, why are we paying more? Okay. All right.
That's right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So this is just a way of taking a look at everything you have. What can the system do? Because again, it's computerized. It's not emotional, that it's well, we could do, but again, it's their program. So they still have the last judgment to go, nah, I don't want to do that, and that's okay. That's all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to all the stressed out professional moms out there, if money is on the list of stresses for you, if you're always pinching the pennies or worrying about things or feeling like you can't afford things or maybe planning for college for your kids and you're trying to figure out how the heck are we going to do that, it really pays, excuse the pun, to talk to Diane because you got nothing to lose. Right? You're going to get more options, more information. You're going to learn how the game works so that you can come up with a strategy so that you become the winner in the game and not the loser in the game, right? So that you can keep more money in your pocket so that you have more options and more freedom. I mean, that's one of the things. Look, money's not going to buy you happiness, but it does give you more options. It really does.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we always offer a complimentary financial analysis. Yes. So we will sit down and take a look at everything they've got, put it into the system, and what can the system do for them? Let's create that value. Does it have value? It's it's a possibility, a slim one, that it may not be the right thing for you right now, but that's okay. I'm the first one to tell you and let you know.
That's information.
Yeah, it's
right?
Exactly. Yeah, completely complimentary. They have nothing to lose. Why not? Why not see what you could be saving? That's what I like. What could you be saving? If you just took a look,
That's the first, one of the first things that I tell clients, besides be kind of gentle with yourself, is maybe you need a little more information. Right? Maybe you just don't know. You're making assumptions. You have expectations and you don't know everything. So maybe a little more information could be helpful.
Right.
So, and Diane is saying, I will give you information. There is zero risk to this. It's all in the positive column, right?
Absolutely.
Decide this, no, it's not for you. Or maybe, oh, this didn't work for me. I need to look for something else. But it's going to help you to get more information so you can make a better decision for you and your family, which I know everyone who's listening to this is their primary importance. Or it could be, hey, this extra money could fund my business, right?
That's right.
Or pay for college tuition. Or I can go for that spa weekend that I've always dreamed about but never have done because we're always pinching pennies. But now maybe I can do that, or take a vacation, whatever it is.
Absolutely, Rita. You got it. Yeah, it frees up that extra money to do the things that that's important to them and their family. Yeah,
money well spent. So Diane, I have two questions for you. One is, if you have a quick tip, something that people can do today, what would you recommend for my moms to do?
Quick tip. Okay, let's see. I would actually take a look even in their own minds, think about what kind of debt they have. What are they looking at? Credit cards? Are they looking at a mortgage? What is it? Kind of put in their own mind of either write it down the list or even just in their own brain. What exactly do I have and what's involved? And then truthfully, what I love to do with my clients or just potential, clients is basically talk with them about their goals. What is it that they'd like to do? What's coming up in their future that they want, whether it's just in the next couple of months or if it's a couple of years, 3 to 5 years down the road. What are they looking at for themselves and their families? And how do they think they're going to get there? If they're not sure how they're going to get there, because things are kind of in an upheaval, either as far as financially in the family, or more so, now we've got the money, but I'm not sure how this is going to work because of everything. I'd love to talk with them. Let's just see if we can make things, get things kind of at calm, a kind of peace in their minds that it's not that bad. Let's see what we can do. And a lot of times that's what I've done. Well, I even write it down so I can see, okay, my brain is going through but it doesn't need to be there if you can see it written down,
Yes.
Yeah. It's just a way of getting organized, truthfully.
Yeah. I think it really helps. I know a lot of my coaching is just helping people, giving them steps and then helping to keep them accountable so they actually do the step, and then being that phone call or that connection when they go, I'm stuck, or I'm crying, or, oh my gosh, this was so much better than I thought it was. So I really encourage all the moms out there to connect with Diane, because I think another set of eyes and some expertise can go a long, long way in this, especially if you have any sense of embarrassment or shame or lack of confidence around your money situation. It helps to have someone. Heck, I don't like to go clothes shopping. I bring someone with me because I'm not confident around clothes. So bring someone in who can cheerlead you, who can encourage you, who can keep you going. I think everyone needs someone like that. So Diane, last question, how do people get in touch with you?
Okay, they can find me on LinkedIn. I do believe that, Rita, you have my email. They're certainly welcome to reach out, to my cell number as well. I know you have that as well. But yeah, definitely even through LinkedIn. If they look through there, you'll find my page. You'll find more information about what it is we do. And I'd be happy to talk with anyone, like I said, just to give them some kind of peace of mind, and get them more focused than they think they are. They probably are. It's already there. They're already, in control. It just feels out of control. That's all.
Exactly. Yeah. So Diane, are you in my group? Are you in my Calm Mom Alliance group?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So that's another place, ladies.
That's right. Yes.
Look in the member section of Calm Mom Alliance. This is why we have the groups, because we have all these experts that can help you. Look up Diane, and there's another way to connect with her through Calm Mom Alliance. Diane, it's been such a pleasure having you on the show. Hopefully, if this live stream worked, we're in a couple different places, and I'll be sending this out to people. And thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It was a pleasure, truly, Rita. I always enjoy talking with you.
It is fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So have a great day, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.